Are you tired of still being in your pajamas at noon and feeling like you can't keep up with the daily tasks as you fight with emotions like stress and burnout? In this episode, I'm sharing the quick and simple 10-minute routine my husband and I do together every single night before bed. This routine sets us up for success the next day and helps us wake up to a clean and organized home, and I want that for you too. This small habit has transformed our mornings, especially with the unpredictability of having a baby, or kids in general for that matter. So if you're looking for a way to make your mornings less chaotic and more peaceful, this episode is for you. Are you an overwhelmed stay-at-home mom struggling to keep your home organized and cozy while balancing endless tasks? Do you feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Are you constantly comparing your life and home to others on social media? If you're feeling lost in your role as a homemaker and mother, you're not alone. Welcome to Modern Homemaker Mom, the podcast that provides simple homemaking strategies rooted in biblical principles. Each episode offers real-life solutions to help you confidently create a peaceful, inviting home. From managing your time and priorities to decluttering, organizing, and building healthy habits, you'll learn how to organize your home and life with purpose. I'm Jynae, a wife, mom, and homemaker just like you. I know what it feels like to be overwhelmed by the daily demands of running a household while trying to nurture your family and maintain a sense of peace in your home. Through my own journey of learning homemaking skills and living out my calling as a wife and mother, I have found freedom in embracing these roles with joy. Now I'm here to help other stay-at-home moms do the same without the stress. It's time to confidently step into your calling and create a home that reflects God's love. Let's build a home that you and your family love, one step at a time. I really believe that it's super important to start your day off with a clean slate. So that's why this bedtime routine has become such a game changer for me and my husband, because it wasn't always like this. Like I said in the intro of this episode, there were days where I was in my pajamas, sometimes even up till like 2 p.m, and I wouldn't have had breakfast, and it was probably 1, and I had a mile-long to-do list of all of the tasks that I needed to get done that day, thinking that I would have plenty of time to get them all done. Meanwhile, I had only gotten 2 crossed off the list, and we all know what that overwhelming feeling is when you still have 11 things on the to-do list and the day's already half over and you've only gotten 2 of them done. So I'm very familiar of how it feels like to start off your day with a chaotic morning, and so that's why I decided to come up with a routine that would basically combat that and make it so that my mornings were set up for success. Many of you listening will be mothers and have young children or babies like me, and so you would understand how mornings can be unpredictable. You never know when your children are going to wake up. You don't know how long the nap times are going to last. And so this is a routine that really helps you so that when you wake up in the morning, it doesn't matter what time you guys got going, your day is going to start the same every single day. So this simple 10-minute routine is something that I like to call the 10-minute tidy, and it's done the night before. Now I'm going to walk you through what this looks like for me and my husband, but keep in mind, this is just a 10-minute routine. It doesn't take 30 minutes, and I want you to spend more than like 5 minutes, so just invest 10 minutes, no more, no less, into doing this. So the first thing that I do is I go around and I just tidy up my living area. So that might mean spending a few minutes fluffing my pillows, folding the throw blankets that we used while we watched a show together. I go around clearing any clutter that's left out, like baby toys, remotes, and stray items, and those get put away. Then I take a quick pass through those high traffic areas like parts of the living room or the kitchen counters, and just reset that space for the next day. And why this is important is because a tidy living space sets a calming tone for the next morning, and it prevents that overwhelm first thing in the morning, because who wants to deal with that when they first wake up? I personally find that when you focus on that visual clutter, the clutter that really makes a home look kind of messy and whatnot, it immediately makes the room feel cleaner without actually having to do a deep clean. So just tidying alone, doing this in the first part of your 10-minute tidy routine is going to make a big difference. And bonus tip, involve your kids or involve your partner in this. Like I said, this is something that my husband and I do together. Now, my husband doesn't like cleaning. He'll admit it. He actually kind of hates it, but he does it and he'll say, it's because I love my wife and I want to please my wife. And he knows that it makes me happy and it really sets a tone for my day the very next morning. So he gets up and he's long gone to work before I even wake up. So this really doesn't affect him a ton. But what does affect him is having a wife that's overwhelmed and stressed out. So if he knows that he can invest that 10 minutes in helping me tidy up the house the night before, and that's going to mean that I'm not stressed out the next day, then it really is affecting him, because then he knows that he comes home to a wife who is at peace and is not feeling stressed out. So that's just something that we've come to an agreement on. And like I said, it's only 10 minutes long. I'm pretty sure that if you do your best and you ask nicely, that you'll be able to convince your husband to just help you out with this tiny little routine. I also find that when we're the ones that are cleaning and organizing, we're more mindful of not making a big mess in the first place or cleaning as we go. And I have found that in the past with my younger siblings who, when they're cleaning up their own messes, they are less likely to go and make a big mess and then just walk away from it because they know that they have to come back and clean it up. So if you involve your kids, involve your spouse in it, they'll be more respectful about making the messes in the first place. And I'm not expecting that you have a picture perfect Pinterest home with no mess or clutter in it ever, because honestly, like, we have to live in our homes, don't get me wrong. But going to bed with a home that is tidied up and things put away is really going to set the tone for your next morning. So after I've given the main areas a general tidy, part of that is going around and getting any dirty dishes, maybe mugs from hot chocolate that we had, and taking it to the kitchen, loading up the dishwasher with all the last minute, dirty dishes, and then starting the dishwasher. Now, maybe your routine is you start the dishwasher right after supper that night. So maybe at this point, right before you go to bed, the dishwasher would actually already be clean. So at this point, you could decide to unload the dishwasher so that chore is already done for the next day. I have done this and I actually really enjoy it. But usually for us, we don't start the dishwasher until right before bed because we often have bedtime snacks. Another thing that I like to do in this 10-minute tidy time is prep for the next day, which is super quick and simple. So a few things you might do during this time might be laying out essential items for the next morning, such as your coffee setup, or setting out the kids' backpacks for school, or setting up the breakfast for your toddler. Or I will also write myself a short little to-do list on the main things that I'd like to get done the next day. Now, this isn't an extensive to-do list. It would just be like the top 4 to 6 things I want to do that day, maybe only top 3 actually. But then it just gets it out of my head so I can actually go to sleep without having to think about it. If we're planning on going on a trip, I might actually create my outfit for the next day so that when I get up, my clothes are like there and ready to go. You can do the same with your kids. And this is all just really crucial because it really can help the morning run smoother and faster when you prep these things for the next day. The very last thing that we do is we will just run around, and my husband always locks the doors and windows, and then I'll close the blinds. This just gets my headspace in the mindset of, okay, we are settling down now, we're doing our bedtime routine, and we're going to be turning the lights off and heading into bed. So it just gets your body into that rhythm of knowing that it's time for bed. It's funny because I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast episode how babies and kids can be so unpredictable. And right now, as I'm trying to record this episode, I usually do it during my daughter's nap times. And while she is down for a nap right now, she's been fighting the nap hardcore and is still awake after an hour of being in her crib. So you've probably, you might have just heard it, hear her singing to herself in her room. And I keep having to pause this, run into there, calm her down, tell her, okay, it's time for bed. But you know what? That's real life. And instead of re-recording this episode, I'm just going to air this out. And you might hear little Oakland, 6 months old, singing in her crib as I record this. Okay, but back to what we were talking about. One last thing I wanted to quickly touch on was I want you to make this 10-minute routine into a habit. And if you need to, you can even set a timer. Something that you could do is create a music playlist that's 10 minutes long with whatever kind of music you want to play that you turn on every time you do this routine. Doing this can just help make it a little more enjoyable if it's something that you're really daunting or don't want to do. And it also gives you a starting and stopping window. So what I want you to do is start implementing this simple 10-minute bedtime routine into your daily rhythm. And after a few days, just notice how much it's affecting your mood and productivity in the morning. Do you feel less stressed? Do you feel more in control? If so, that's what we're aiming for, right? So in conclusion, this simple routine that's only 10 minutes long is going to transform your chaotic mornings into a peaceful, productive start. And just remember that small habits can have a huge impact. Like I said, this is a very small, little, simple routine, but it really is the make it or break it thing for how my day starts the next day. And so I want you to start your days off feeling refreshed, feeling like you are ahead of the game rather than behind. This is the perfect routine for moms with busy little toddlers or babies in the house, children of all ages, honestly, or if you don't have children, I would advise that you do this anyways. And once you start doing it, you are going to see a difference. Before you go, if this podcast has encouraged or helped you in any way, the best way that you can show your support is by subscribing to the show and leaving a written 5-star review. Your words truly make my day and remind me why I love sharing here. You can also snap a screenshot of this episode and share it with a friend or post it to your Instagram stories. Make sure to tag me at Her Stable Home. Thanks so much for listening, friend. I will see you next time.